He leans over real close to this guy and goes, "Are you a VTuber?" Everybody I talk about Faust with has their own totally distinct impression of her. What does that mean? Sorry. I can't squint without closing my eyes. What does that mean? Also, who are you talking to me about we help? Who are you talking about me with? Can you tell me everything that everybody has ever said about me? Research purposes. I need to know how to perceive myself. I see you got shorter. What? I did not get shorter. Oh, okay. I guess I'll start talking about offkai. I did not get shorter, but I did get slightly mogged on. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. But I did get slightly mogged on. We all know that McHext, my bestie McHext, is tall. I already knew that. We've been besties forever. I already knew she was tall. Oh. I feel like everyone was kind of tall, with the exception of Sick Lilies. I believe Sick Lilies and I were of similar stature. But, Jarchi was tall, Yuki was tall, Zora was tall, Mick was tall. I'm just sitting there. I'm just sitting there like this. Sigh! Whatever. Snip, snip, whatever. Whatever, it's fine. I can see you. Wow, there's me and Mick. Yeah, there's a slight height difference. There's a slight... Just very faint. Very faint. Oh. It's not looking so good. It's not looking so good for me. And like I can't even like claim that my ears helped add height because she has ears too. Oh. But yeah, I cosplayed when I was at offkai. I guess this is kind of like a low-key cosplay reveal. Like you can see my ears and my tail and my skirt and everything. But I will take high quality cosplay photos for realsies. I promise I'm not just gonna show you like these little iPhone photos. I'm gonna take nice ones and I'll show off my cosplay a little better. But this is just a sneak preview. Aren't we so cute? Aren't we so cute? But yeah. Oof. I was kind of reminded of my height during this trip. I'm still taller than you, probably? You really? How tall are you? I think I already explained this, but the first time I ever heard about offkai Expo was, I want to say last May? Or maybe June? I don't know. It was like... It was last year. It was before last year's expo, but there like wasn't enough time. There's enough turnaround. I was watching a VTuber, a bigger VTuber. His name is Carbon. I just randomly... I don't even really watch bigger VTubers too much. I mostly just watch my friends. But I guess nobody was online. And I was bored. And so I just kind of scrolled and I was like, oh, Carbon's nice. I'll listen to Carbon. And he was explaining his offkai experience and how he won a bunch of swag for it. And it's like, thinking emoji. What is offkai? What is he talking about? And so I looked it up and it was like, the world's first VTubing convention. And me, as a little baby VTuber, was like, there's a convention for real? And so I reached out to Mick, because I think Mick had just kind of been consistently streaming for a bit. Maybe it wasn't May, because I think Mick started streaming in January. Perhaps, maybe. But anyway, we were both pretty baby streamers, and I was like, we can do this. We can do this. Not this year, but next year. And we were so hyped for it. And I don't know. As time went on, we just kept inviting more and more and more people. Like, between me and Mick, we probably invited, I don't know, probably like 10, 11, 12, 13. I don't know how many people we invited. But like pretty much every streamer friend of ours combined, we were like, you should consider going to offkai. you should consider this big convention. You should consider it. And, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you talk to someone and you're like, you should go, you should. VTuber Airbnb, can you believe that? Isn't that so crazy? But it was me. It was Mick Hex, obviously. And it was Zora. And it was Yuki. Zoralius and I Hate Yuki with 3 eyes. And Sick Lilies. And then Laughing Jarchi was there as well with his sister, but they were not in the same Airbnb as us. But yeah, there's so many people. Like, I cannot believe we convinced like 6 people. I don't know. I feel like there's kind of a stigma or like a stereotype that like VTubers are maybe not that attractive because it's like, oh, if you were pretty, you would probably be a face cam streamer. So you're probably like low-key a little bit chopped, you know? Like, that's not my personal opinions, but I feel like that's just kind of what people think. But that is not true whatsoever. Everyone was so like, everyone was so gorgeous. Everyone was so gorgeous. I was like, and like I was already like nervous because I was like, oh my god, I'm doing all these people. And then, so we get there and it's like, all right, we gotta find Jarchi. And well, okay, sorry, I am not a linear storyteller. Before that, we landed and I was like, man, you know what I want? You know what I want? You know what my favorite thing to do at the airport is? It's to go to Starbucks and get a horchata latte. Or frappuccino, whatever like the frozen dessert one is. Have you guys had that before? Any Starbucks enjoys? I know Starbucks gets a lot of like flack for being overpriced and like too sugary, and like, you know, it's better to get local coffee. And I get it. I completely get it. However, they are in every single airport. They're in every single airport, and they're just so easy to get. And this year they came out with a horchata frappuccino, and it's like cinnamony. You don't understand, guys. It has cinnamon in it. It's so good. It's like a milky coffee, like almost like a milkshake with like a bunch of cinnamon flavor. It almost tastes like a Biscoff cookie if you have one of those. I don't know. It's so good. But anyway, me and Zora get off the airplane and I'm like, well, you know, we're gonna have to wait here for like everyone to get here anyway. So like, I'm gonna take this opportunity to get a Starbucks beverage. And I'm feeling generous. So I was like, you know what? I have some gift cards like loaded onto my Starbucks app. Like, I'll get you a beverage too if you want. And he was like, oh my god, bet. And so we both place our order in the mobile app. And we go to like sit down on a bench and wait for it. And then I'm like, oh yay, okay. After a few minutes, my order is ready. Let's go get it. And then I look at the map, and I don't know if you guys have been to a lot of airports, if you've had like a lot of airport experiences if you know how it works. But if you don't, so there's like anybody can just walk in the airport. You know, that part is not like super safeguarded. Like there's like kind of like a, I don't know what you call it, like the lobby-ish area. Kinda. And like there's a few restaurants and souvenir shops sometimes, and I think you like the baggage claim is there, but I would say that's only like a third of the airport. But most of the airport is behind security, behind TSA. And that's like the thing that everyone complains about. Like you have to go through the metal detectors and you have to put your bags through like an x-ray, and they ask you if you have a boarding pass. Like I don't think you can just go through TSA for funsies. Like I'm pretty sure you have to have a plane ticket because they're very strict. At least in the United States of America. They are the airport, no funny business, you know. So anyway, I'm staring at this app. I'm staring at the Starbucks app that says my order is ready for pickup. And the location is, I don't know what location it was. It was like gate like C19 or whatever. And my heart just kind of sinks because it's like, oh, we already exited the plane and we like walked off into the lobby area. We can't go back in. Like we already exited the airport. We can't go back in. So, maybe to this day there is a horchata frappuccino just sitting at the mobile order pickup counter because I ordered it like a goober without checking, and then it was behind TSA and I couldn't go back in. And I tried to like contact customer support and like get a refund because it's like, yo, it's like it's obviously it's my fault, it's my bad, like whoopsie. But it's like, man, well, it's not like I just left my drink there to die on purpose. Like I really wanted it, but yeah, it was cooked. It was cooked. So that was the start of the trip. It was wasting, and it was not cheap either. I will say it was. I had Starbucks gift card like dollars in my account, so no money left my bank account. So it's not that bad. But it was still like $13 maybe. 13 Starbucks dollars just wasted. Just wasted. I really hope somebody took that horchata and drank it for themselves. Like I hope they didn't throw it away. I hope at the very least like the worker got to drink it. I'm still a little bummed about that. And then on my flight home, like I said, there is a Starbucks in every single airport in the United States, at least that I've been to. But I might on my flight home, I had quite a large layover. Like I had to wait for. If I didn't need a boarding pass, I probably would have like just bit the bullet and went through TSA again. Like I would have let them take x-rays of me. I would have put my bags back through the thing. I really wanted my coffee, but I'm pretty certain you have to have a plane ticket. I don't know. I couldn't bring myself to be like, hello, Mr. TSA agent. I do not actually have a boarding pass. I promise I'm not trying to commit any acts of terrorism. I just accidentally ordered a coffee and I need to get back in there. Because I thought I'd be able to get to it. I couldn't bring myself to do that. And I felt like such a goober. I felt like double a goober because I offered Zora. I was like, yeah, I got some gift card money. Like, you can get a coffee too. I was like, oh, actually, never mind. Nice to meet you, by the way. Is this a good first impression? Ooh. So that was a little cooked. But anyway, so I had my coffee fiasco. And then the Discord group chat, I found out we find out that Jarchi is there, but neither of us know what Jarchi looks like. So we're kind of just awkwardly walking in circles until finally, he leans over real close to this guy and goes, Are you a VTuber? And thank goodness he clocked correctly. Because it was Jarchi. Because Jarchi kind of like looks up on his phone and he goes, Zora? Zora, is that you? And then it was like, oh, yay! And we like give hugs and we're having a great time. And then we like wait for Mick to show up. And then Mick shows up and we're all like, yay! But can you imagine? Can you imagine if you're just minding your business at the airport and then someone leans over to you and whispers like, hey, you a VTuber? Like if you're not a VTuber? Oh, that would be so cooked. Yeah, that would have been really embarrassing. But you know, it worked out. It worked out because it was Jarchi. It was Jarchi. And then Mick showed up, I don't know, like 30 minutes after that, maybe. Maybe it wasn't 30 minutes. It felt like 30 minutes. Because I was like, oh, I'm waiting for my girl to show up. And then she shows up and she's so beautiful and she like comes down the escalator and it kind of feels like a Cinderella scene. Oh my goodness. Like I watch her go down the escalator and I'm like, huh. And then I run into her arms and I give her a big hug and it's so awesome. Because, you know, she is my best friend in the whole entire world. But you have to understand, I haven't seen her in a long time. I think, well, okay, I say a long time. I think maybe it was May. I think it's been May since I last saw her. But you have to understand, that's a long time. I'm getting so distracted. Offkai. Okay, so yeah, day one. I had a Cobb salad for dinner. That was awesome. Oh my god, and I forgot to say, so you know how I said that Jarchi was like staying in his own like hotel Airbnb situation? So at some point in the day, he went to check into his own Airbnb, and I think he also went grocery shopping. So it was just me and Mick and Zora. And I think that's when I fell asleep on the floor. I think we were just like chatting, you know, kind of decompressing from our long flights and just kind of waiting for everyone else to get there. I took a nap. Anyway, and then we like Ubered to the dinner restaurant. And Jarchi also Ubered separately because he was coming from his own Airbnb. And so he went grocery shopping early that day and he shows up to dinner. Oh my god. I'm still so hyped about it. He shows up with a box of honeycombs. I was so happy. He was like, yeah, I was at the grocery store and I thought of you. And I was like, But he also got like the family size, which is way more than I can eat in a week. So even though I'm pretty sure everybody had some honeycombs throughout the week, like we were all making progress, there was still so much left by the end of it. And I didn't have that much space in my bag for like a full box of cereal. So I took the bag out of the box and I just stuffed it in my bag. And when I got home to unpack, the first thing that was at the very top of my suitcase was like kind of a crunched up bag with no box of honeycomb cereal. But so I'm a happy girl. I'm a happy girl. I have honeycombs in my pantry. It just looks a little goofy that they're squished and they're not in a box anymore. But I couldn't throw them away. I couldn't throw them away. That's like ambrosia. It's ambrosia. That's a gift from the gods. I love honeycombs. So thread through the honeycombs and wear them like Julie. Ooh, I feel like they would get like soft. Like I feel like I'd have to spray them with some sort of water. That's awesome. But anyway, we went to the grocery store, put the groceries back, and then we went to the beach. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe this is a really long story time for like no reason. Like, I'm not the most skilled storyteller. But we went to the beach. And the beach was so awesome. The water was much colder than I thought it would be. I don't know. They always say that California beaches are chilly because the water comes from like Alaska or something. Or like all the ice up there makes all the water cold or something. But it was like a really hot day, so I was like, oh, surely the water will be kind of warm. It wasn't. it wasn't. Like, I've been to the beach. My mama really likes Florida. So I've been to like Florida beaches before. I'm pretty sure when I was younger, I've been to the California beach. But it had been a really long time since I've been to a West Coast beach. And I was used to the East Coast beaches being like a regular temperature. And oh my god, the water was cold. I was like literally shivering. It's probably like 90 degrees out and I'm shivering. But, you know, I wanted to swim so bad. I wanted to swim so bad. I was very brave and I kinda ran in there. I know Jarchi's sister Sad was like, you can't think about it. Girl, you cannot think about it. If you want to get into that water, you have to keep moving. Because if you like take a few baby steps and then stop, you're gonna think about it too much. You just gotta run in there. It's like, oh, okay. And so I ran in there at full speed, and that did help, I will say. And I like put my head under the water, and that made it better. But oh, it was so chilly. Hi, clown. Welcome in. Hi. Yeah. Oh, the ocean was cold. And I think everybody like touched the water, but definitely not everybody got all the way in because it was so cold. But I tried my best to convince people to get in. Well, I don't know. I went in the first time and it was super cold. And then I got out because I was too cold. And I like laid in the sand. I was so toasty. The sand was so warm and soft. And I got all dried off and I felt good. And we were like, just eating some fruit and drinking some drinks on the beach. And then I was like all warmed up from the sand. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to go back in. I want to go back in that water. And Mick was like, all right, let's go back in the water. And for some reason, like the first time we got in the water, it was freezing. But for some reason, when Mick asked the second time, I don't know, maybe it's because I got used to how warm the sand was. And like sitting my legs on the sand, nice and warm. But the second time, oh my god, it was like literal, it was like literal hell. It was so... What else? I made a sandcastle. I brought like a little sandcastle mold. Not a very big one, just a little tiny one. But I just like repeated it a few times. I made a sandcastle. What else? Me and Jarchi were digging a hole, and then Zora was helping us dig a hole. We were digging a big hole, and I was like, Jarchi, let me bury you. Let me bury you in the sand. And he was like, no. And I was like, please let me bury you in the sand. And he was like, no, I'm too big. I'll bury you in the sand. And I was like, no, I can't be buried in the sand. And I was like, But anyway, so me and Jarchi and Zora, none of us were like really that down to get buried solo style. And so I was like, okay, let's make a really big hole and then we'll all get buried in it. So that way it's like even. Like we all feel included. We're like, okay. And oh my gosh, I feel it was probably not that long, but I feel like we were digging this hole for like an entire hour. We didn't have any shovels, so we were just like digging like puppy dogs in the sand with our bare hands, just going like dig, 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 dig. And oh my god, it took forever, but we finally got it wide enough to where we all were able to sit in the hole. And then we recruited help from our other friends, and they helped like bury us in. And we low-key maybe didn't make the hole wide enough because Jarchi was, I don't know if it was the way he was sitting or if it was just that the hole truly wasn't wide enough, but his knee was poking out a little bit. But none of us were dedicated enough to like get out of the hole and like keep digging. So we just kind of made his knee into like a big bumpy, lumpy thing in the sand. But anyway, so then we were all in a hole. And we were like, oh, we need a body. We need a body. Can you guys make bodies for us? And so they ended up making us a big mermaid tail, and we were a Cerberus mermaid. So there's like a big mermaid tail made out of sand. Okay, imagine a big fat mermaid tail made out of sand, and then 3 offkai. How do I explain what offkai is to people who have not gone? I don't know. Has everybody been to a convention before? Do you know what a convention is? I don't know. It's like this big convention center, and it's just throughout like all the rooms. There's just like stuff, VTuber stuff going on everywhere. There's I think the biggest room was Artist Alley. And it was so big. I did not even have time. Like, we were there for 3 days, and I did not even have time to inspect every single booth. Because there was just so much. It was so big. It's basically, I don't know how many aisles. How many hallways. Maybe like 30, like, hallways? Or like, aisles? Just chocked full of art of all sorts. There's like a bunch of stickers. There's a bunch of like art prints, pins and keychains, a few t-shirts. There weren't as many like clothing items as I thought there would be. There are definitely some t-shirts, desk mats, some figures. Not that many figures, but I saw a few figures. Just I don't know, any little artsy type of souvenir. And I don't know, obviously every booth had like VTuber stuff, and I, along with many many of my friends, actually don't watch too incredibly many big VTubers. So there were a few booths where it's like, man, this is awkward. I don't really recognize any of these people. But I was always very excited to see Iron Mouse merch and Porcelain Maid merch and Mari_en merch. I think those are the ones I saw the most of that like I recognized and that I was excited for. And there's some that I like recognized, but like I haven't actually seen that. But it was good. It was good. There are also these little tables. Like kind of outside of Artist Alley, and they were just chock full of business cards and stickers and like little goodies for all these VTubers. Like on my last stream before I left, I'm pretty sure Jen jokingly told me like, you should have printed out business cards to like hand out to people. And I was like, haha, like that's a cute idea. Like that's kind of funny. But no, like I really should have actually. Because I guess that is the status quo, is you just leave all these business cards on these tables. And when you check into offkai, you get like your name badge lanyard situation. And there's like a little spot at the bottom where you're supposed to put a ribbon or multiple ribbons if you want to stack them. And when you register, it comes with like a little goodie bag. So like I picked up my name tag, and then after I picked up my name tag, it was like you collect all these stuff. So I collected a pronoun badge or a pronoun ribbon. So like mine said like she, her. And everybody got like a little card pack, and within the card pack was like 2 random VTubers that were guests there. I got Mint Fantome. I saw a lot of Mint stuff. I have never been to a Mint stream. I'm not very familiar with her, but I got her card, and I also got a girl VTuber called Veronica, I believe. I was not familiar with her even a little bit. And then I think Mick got a really cute VTuber boy named Invain. And I don't remember Kason. And then she traded with Zora for Trickle. I don't think anybody got any VTubers that I personally like watched. I was familiar with Trickle, and I knew of Mint, but the only thing I know about Mint is one time somebody came to my stream and said, "You sound exactly like Minty." And I was like, "Who is Minty?" And so I think I looked her up, and I was like, "Do I sound like that?" Anyways, and I purchased it from my memory. Espresso Depresso Obsesso. What a nice name. Cosplay mentioned I have been summoned. Do you like cosplaying? Oh my goodness. Yes, I just cosplayed. I went to Offkai Expo, the VTuber convention, and I cosplayed myself. I cosplayed myself. It was a lot of fun. But that was my second time cosplaying ever. Not including like Halloween costumes. But I feel like that's a little different. But I've cosplayed Sakura Miku and I have cosplayed myself. I'd like to do more. It's a lot of fun. Mince is a wonderful singer. Ooh, yeah, I don't be knowing. I haven't heard her singing, but I do have her little trading card. What other goodies did they give? I want to say it was just a ribbon and the cards and like a little baggie to put your stuff in. But anyway, I didn't know that like ribbon collecting was a part of it. So I just put the she, her pronouns thing on my badge. But apparently a big part of offkai is ribbon collecting. And I don't know how people make their own ribbons, but a lot of people had their own like little ribbons, and you peel off an adhesive part and you can just stick it to your badge. And some people just kept sticking the ribbons to each other. And so like there's one guy who had like a whole entire scarf made out of ribbons. But yeah, I picked up quite a few little freebie ribbons from those tables I was talking about. The tables that had all the business cards. I don't know. I made it a point to only grab the ones that were cute. I didn't just grab every single one. But even so, even just grabbing the ones that I thought were cute or funny, I still have such a fat stack. It's so big. There's so many. I don't know. I might go through and like actually look up the people. It's like models seem interesting. And there's also a lot of stickers and people just put freebies. So I also got a little keychain of like a little red VTuber. I don't know who she is. But I have a cute keychain of her now. What else? At one point there was like a teddy mouse pad of somebody on there. And I was almost tempted to pick it up because it's just like the free stuff table. But I was like, I'm not going to actually use it. I don't think I actually want this. It's just funny that it's here. So I hope it went to a good home. It was funny. So yeah, there's just like 3 or 4 ginormous tables just full of business cards and flyers and stuff. There's actually, I took a picture. There is one that was, it's like a piece of printer paper and it was an exam. It said VTuber coding midterm exam and it had 4 coding questions. And it's like, please submit your answers to this stream. And I thought that was a really cool idea. Like if you're a coding VTuber, you make a little test and kind of bait people into coming in. So I don't know. I'm brainstorming of like what I could put on the table if I went. Probably just a business card. I think stickers are really fun, but how do you know how many stickers to print? I don't know. I don't know how any of that works, but I'm definitely inspired. Still a lovely cover of Santa Baby, really? I wonder if it's on Spotify. Did we go to the Yabai? I'm pretty sure we went to the Yabai market, which was similar to Artist Alley, but much smaller. And it was 18 plus. So we had to wait in line and get like 18 plus wristbands to go in there. And it was open later. So I'm pretty sure Artist Alley closed at like 6 p.m? 5 or 6 p.m? And then the Yabai market opened at like 8 p.m. maybe. Also, my numbers might be completely wrong. I'm not very good with remembering numbers, but it was something like that. So anyway, we went to the Yabai market. I personally did not buy anything. Mick bought a little sussy free run thingy, and they had this booth, I guess you would say. I don't know. There's a Shy Lily cosplayer there, and she had this game that was like, if you can land this ball on the hammer within 3 times, you get a prize or something. And Yuki ate it up. Yuki only needed 2 tries, and he like landed the little ball. And I don't know what they gave him. Can I be honest? They gave him something suspicious that I did not understand. I don't know if he would want me to say what it was. I'm not 100% sure what it was. It was an egg. A one-time use egg, question mark. And I did not really understand what that meant. And, you know, that's okay. Not everything is for me to understand. The buy market went on until 1 a.m.? That's crazy. That's so crazy. I can't even imagine being in the convention center that late. Cause like everything else was like shut down, right? That's wild. But yeah, I don't think we went that late. I think we were there at like 8 or 9 maybe. What else? Yeah, we kind of walked around, looked. Yuki got his thing. Mick got her thing. What else? What else? They had... I don't know if I should say this, but they did have like collars and leashes there. And me and Mick took some kind of cheeky pictures where she's wearing a collar and like I'm holding her leash. So that was fun. That was fun. And they also I think at the same table that had the collars and leashes, they had like Labubu bondage. Like they had like little collars for Labubus as well. And we were trying to convince Jarchi to get one because Jarchi really likes Labubu. But he did not. He did not end up getting it, alas. And then we left the Yamfai market, and we had heard about, I don't know, there's like after parties every single night. And I don't know like who is hosting them, because I don't think that any of them were like official offkai hosted events. But there were so many just like random VTuber events. But we went to one. It was like, I don't know, it's a bar called Guild House, I believe. And it was like a video game tabletop sort of bar, but they had like VTubers just playing on the screens. So it was like kind of cute theming. And then there's like a back room that had a DJ, a VTuber DJ. I wish I remembered her name, but she was like a pink cat girl. And I guess she had some original songs, and me and Mick were in our cosplays, and we were dancing like crazy. It went really hard. I really liked that. But not that many people were dancing. Like me and Mick were trying to convince other people to dance, but alas, we were just too hyper, I guess. And that's when I met Celeste. Jarchi met Celeste. I don't know if Jarchi went into like the back room with the DJ. Maybe he didn't, but I don't know. All I know is that we met back up with Jarchi, and he made a friend. He made a friend, and then I made a friend. It was so awesome. It was so cool. Shout out to Celeste. Can't stick around too long, but I wanted to pop in and say hi. Congrats on the new outfit. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Fabina. Thank you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Yes. So we were dancing, and I was still in cosplay, mind you. Though I was kind of getting really overstimulated. So I low-key went to the bathroom and I took my wig off. And I was wearing like a blue cardigan, as my model does. I took my cardigan and my wig off. But don't worry, I still kept the ears and the tail. I was bouncing around with my tail and my ears. It was pretty good, and we ran into the DJ, like in the bathroom. And she came up to me and Mick, and she's like, "Wow!" Like I just wanted to say like thank you so much for like bringing so much energy to my set, and that felt really good. And then There was some other people in the bathroom who were dressed as like vampires that we ran into. And we were like, yo, why are you dressed like vampires? And the lady was like, oh yeah, like just right down the street. There's another rave and it's like Blade themed. And I'm not familiar with Blade, but I'm pretty sure it's a Marvel thing. But it sounded hype, and so me and Mick reported back to our group and we were like, oh yeah, there's like low-key a vampire rave down this. Oh my god, how could I forget? Sheesh. Well, I'm lying. I did not meet Iron Mouse. But we went to a panel. It was a Speak of the Devil panel, which if you are not familiar, that is like Iron Mouse's little, I want to call it like a talk show where she just like interviews streamers. And she did that live at offkai. I mean, not actually live. Like Iron Mouse was not physically in the building, but like she was on the big screen. She was on the big screen at this panel, and she could like hear and see like the crowd. And she was for this particular panel, she was interviewing Anarchy, who is a cosplayer as well as a streamer. She is beautiful. She's so beautiful. I had never heard of Anarchy before. I guess Mick had. I don't know if anyone else had, but I had never heard of her. But yeah, she's beautiful, beautiful lady. And I don't know. They're kind of just talking back and forth about, I don't know, just like cosplaying and how their day was going and random stuff. And then like at the end of the panel, they opened it up for like Q&A. So people could like stand in line in front of this microphone and like ask Iron Mouse and Anarchy questions. And Mick and Zora really wanted to ask Iron Mouse a question because it's like, well, opportunity to talk to Iron Mouse, am I right? I was too shy. I don't think I would do that. I just wanted to watch. But they stood in line. And unfortunately, the line was so long that like they got cut off. They didn't get to ask their question. But it was really cool. My friends almost got to talk to Iron Mouse. But it was an interesting Q&A. I will say a lot of people didn't even really ask questions. They were just like, oh, I hope you guys know that you're such an inspiration to us. And I get it. Like when you get the opportunity to talk to like your hero, you just want to glaze them. But it was like, man, after the third, then the very last panel we went to was about YouTube shorts, how to make successful shorts. And I feel like I kind of dragged everyone to that one, but it's like, guys, I really want to like learn some good tips of being a good content creator. And everyone was like, okay. And I learned a whole lot. I think that was the most informative panel. They talked, I don't know, they showed like an unedited clip of Amelie, and then they like went through the process of like, okay, this is what it's like after we cut out all the filler. And this is what it's like, you know, add some sound effects, add some PNGs. Here's some resources for some free to use PNGs. Make sure there's always something moving on the screen, but don't like overdo it because you don't want to overwhelm people. And like always put captions and subtitles and make sure it's not blocking everyone. I don't know. It felt like kind of common sense, but at the same time, it was stuff that I never thought of. So I actually, I haven't used my TikTok in a long time. But actually, yesterday and the day before, I was so inspired that I did make some TikToks that are perhaps a little bit more well edited. Not perfect. I was also editing within the TikTok app instead of using like an actual secondary thing like DaVinci Resolve or CapCut. I think I could do better if I was using a second platform. But I think within TikTok, I think I did a pretty good job. Well, I'm gonna try to use what I learned more and more. And then yeah, pretty much after that panel, there is Mick really likes a VTuber like song artist called Trickle, and she like had his little card and she really wanted him to sign it. So she was like the last person in line to like